actually believe that is not the case. Let's go back to Dragon Ball Z. When Majin Vegeta is screaming at Goku, telling him why he allowed Babidi to convert him into a bitch, Vegeta overheard Mr. Satan talk about how it is powerful in this tournament, considering that he was pretty much a job guy in the last tournament and had virtually no connect through butter. And Vegeta was curious about how this was even possible. Then, of course, when Babidi showed up, Vegeta knew that when Babidi converts you into being a Majin and takes control of you, he actually power boosts. You do get a boost of power. Now, during Goku's fight with Yakan, that was the first time that we saw Goku transform into a Super Saiyan 2. We saw it for just a brief second, and Vegeta was marveled at this. Vegeta was surprised that Goku was able to be so much stronger than he was in the past. Now, this, of course, led folks to believe that Vegeta at the time could not achieve Super Saiyan 2 without the help of Babidi giving him the boost to close the power gap between he and Goku. And this is why some people believe that the only way to do that is for Vegeta to have become Super Saiyan 2. However, I beg to differ on that somewhat. Even though Madoshi Babidi's upgrade did indeed give Vegeta a boost significantly, there's actually more evidence to prove that Vegeta was a Super Saiyan 2 way before this, and that all Babidi did was make Vegeta stronger to compete with Goku during their fight, but there's absolutely no indication that Babidi's power-up can give you new transformations and new forms, because no matter what, you have to remember, Super Saiyan 2 is not just an upgraded power, it's a brand new transformation, despite it looking a lot like SS1, just with thinner hair beads and usually a little bit more lightning. Nowhere is it even hinted that Babidi can give you new transformations. Now, there's even more evidence to this earlier in the arc. When Gohan transforms into a Super Saiyan 2 in the tournament in front of Kibito, everybody's in awe of Gohan's power, except for, of course, Vegeta. Vegeta remarks that Gohan may be strong, but he's nowhere near as being as strong as he was when he fought Cell. Now, why would Vegeta say this? Why would Vegeta not be so in awe or so shocked at Gohan? Why would Vegeta, who previously had trouble catching up to Goku and Gohan during the Cell Saga, why would he now just think nothing of Gohan and brush him off? I find it very hard to believe that Vegeta would not even be remotely fazed by Super Saiyan 2 and by Gohan's power if it wasn't already something that he had previously achieved. In fact, even more evidence comes during the fight with Gohan and Dabura. During this fight, Gohan is having trouble with Dabura, and Vegeta and Goku both remark that Gohan has kind of lost his edge. He's kind of not been practicing. He has not been training like he previously did. He's been, to quote Rocky III, civilized. And in some ways, some people would say Vegeta may be a little bit civilized too, because he did take care of Trunks and Bulma during those 7 years. But the guy still trained his ass off. We all know that. We all know that Vegeta, no matter which way you slice it, is a fighting prodigy. Even the God of Destruction Beerus said so in Battle of Gods. And Whis himself has taken him under his wing. So that should tell you just how impressive Vegeta is. But back to that fight, Vegeta remarks that Dabura should be no problem for Gohan, but yet Dabura is a problem for Gohan. Vegeta makes it seem like he could take out Dabura with no problem at all. Okay, that's a fair point, but then I'm thinking, wait a minute, there was a scene earlier where Goku and the others scrapped with Dabura for just a very brief time, and Dabura was fighting them off pretty damn well. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Vegeta would have to transform in order to beat Dabura. And I do believe if he did transform, he would beat Dabura rather easily. Do you think that Goku and Vegeta were just underestimating Dabura, or that Dabura was holding back? I don't think so. I think Dabura proved with his underestimation of Majin Buu that he's not a very smart fighter and nowhere near on the level of Goku and Vegeta. So I do think that Goku and Vegeta were on point when they said that Gohan should be able to take out Dabura, but because he didn't train, he's weaker. So what does that tell you? That tells you that Vegeta himself doesn't even sweat Gohan. And that's a huge power leap considering that Gohan was destroyed earlier. I find it very hard to believe that Vegeta trained himself so that his Super Saiyan 1 could surpass Gohan's SS2. Even though in Battle of Gods, for a brief second, we do see Vegeta slightly surpass Goku, I just find it very hard to believe that that's the case here. On the other hand, the most logical argument based upon all the evidence that we've gathered here is that Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 2 during the 7-year break in between Cell and Buu. We know for a fact that Goku was able to unlock the form in the other world as well as learn how to do SS3, and we saw SS3 premiere just a few more episodes later. But up until that point, Goku and Vegeta both saw Gohan ascend to SS2, but they had never seen SS3 until Goku unlocked it, and Vegeta certainly never saw Super Saiyan 3. So I think that in the Cell Saga, with Vegeta taking 2 trips to the Room of Spirit and Time and becoming really, really powerful, probably a lot stronger than you could even imagine, because the second time he went back in the Room of Spirit and Time, he already had knowledge of all the different grades of Super Saiyan, so he knew what Goku and Gohan's training methods were, and he knew about Trunks' super buff Ultra form, so he already had knowledge going in about how to do it, and as a result of that, he didn't quite achieve Super Saiyan 2 until after the Cell games were over, but he did achieve it during the 7-year time skip because Goku did it too, and I would actually go so far as to say he achieved it early in the 7-year time skip. And I think Vegeta pretty much realized that he was training his ass off, Gohan wasn't. Vegeta clearly surpassed Goku, and unfortunately we never saw or learned exactly how Goku was able to figure out how to do Super Saiyan 3, but I do think Vegeta seeing Gohan doing it and training his ass off absolutely put him at that level. And I also believe that even though Babidi did make Vegeta exceedingly stronger than he was before, Babidi did not in any way influence Vegeta learning a new transformation. Vegeta already knew how to be an SS2. Babidi just made him a stronger Super Saiyan 2 because Vegeta obviously saw Goku turn SS2 against Yakan and said, oh shit, I can do the form too, but he might actually still be stronger than me. And of course, this is Vegeta not even knowing about Super Saiyan 3. And then again, when you examine the history of the manga, Toriyama himself probably had no idea about Super Saiyan 3 while he was writing these parts of the manga, but that's a video for another day. So there is my argument, there are my points. I am pretty certain, I would say 100% actually, that Vegeta was able to achieve Super Saiyan 2 way before the Buu saga even started. I think he knew how to do it, he had knowledge of it, he just wanted the boost to compete with Goku. Those are all my points. That is my evidence. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you had fun watching this and you were enlightened, and I hope that Vegeta fans out there now realize and remember how much of a genius the guy is, and don't just think that he was piggybacking off of, the Warlock's abilities. That's not what happened. He knew what he was doing. So, thank you again for watching. Make sure you press that subscribe button, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and comment down below your thoughts on this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later on.
Yes, it's too dark. Oh boy. Fuck. I can't see. It's kind of dark. Stupid.
Can't make a successful comedy that doesn't say something about not just the next big thing that everybody else is going and not verbalize.
CNN's new original series, The History of Comedy. Starts Thursday at 10, only on CNN.
Yeah.
Today we've got a challenge for you. We're going to show you a picture of a video game character, and the first person who guesses their name correctly gets a point.
Yes! Video games! Finally something I know.
Ooh, I might not be the worst at this. Alright, here's the catch. We're only going to be revealing their picture to you 1 second at a time. If you know it, just shout it out. You get one guess per section.
I don't really play video games or know video game characters.
I like video games.
Yeah.
I feel the pressure. Yeah. I feel like I have stuff to prove now.
You're a pretty competitive guy. Well, it depends on the character. Yeah, you've probably been gaming a longer time than I have.
I'm significantly older than you.
A wider range of
Wiser than
experience.
Yes, better than you.
It would be very embarrassing. Who's your first video game character? We'll start by revealing one part of the picture.
That's Mario or Sonic.
A lot of characters. Like every character has a freaking white glove.
I think that's Mario. Incorrect. Luigi? No.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic. It is.
Yep.
Is it Sonic? Correct. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, that was good. Them Knuckles. Not the character, but his Knuckles.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is that right? Whoa! I saw like a tiny sliver of blue. Someone just told me
And I was
that's
so
who I
close.
knew.
Let's see if revealing another section helps. Red tip shoe. I have not played on a different level for me. My confidence was low to begin with. Here's your next character.
It's like a little, it looks like a metal, like it could be part of a shield.
I was like, where is this?
Zelda.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Shovel Knight. I don't think it's enough for me.
Oh, damn it, you're right.
Maybe it's Zelda.
Is it Link? Yay! The only one I'm gonna
It's
get.
the shield. That could be anything. Is it Link? Oh, fuck. Of course it's Link. Here's the next section.
Link. Oh my god. Oh, is it Link? Yes.
I think I visualized that, but I would never have guessed
Link. All right. Okay. Woo. You knew it. You were I knew it was Link. I'm also very glad you said Link. It's not Zelda. I was like,
Okay, so it's spiky hair.
Cloud Strike, Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy.
I'm wearing this shirt!
Yes! Can't wait for this new one. Can't wait.
Oh, nice. I've not played any Final Fantasy. Oh, it's Cloud. I don't actually play Final Fantasy. That's the funny thing. I just know a lot of the characters from Kingdom Hearts. It's gonna be some like ants.
I can probably narrow down what game it's from, but I don't know if I'm gonna know these guys by name. But I know what he looks like. I can't place it. Need more squares.
Oh.
Oh, that I don't. Oh, is it Cloud? Boom! Cloud is one of the dopest Super Smash characters. And here at the Fine Brothers, Super Smash is a very popular game. I don't play this game either, but I play. I've seen him on Smash Bros. Man, it's killing me because definitely the selection that you and I places. All right, here's a little bit more on Save the House. Very stylish. You're gonna say the name. That's his name. Yeah, it's like, do it, Aaron. How bad would you be in my opinion? I do not know. No idea. If you don't know, just watch Final Fantasy. That's right.
I'm very confident in Andrea. This looks more realistic.
you're holding something.
He or she is holding some crowbar? Yeah, it looks like. So they're ready.
I feel like
Half-Life.
oh, my husband's gonna kill me. Oh, what is it called? Oh, what is it? Dang it.
It's not like Solid Snake, is it? I can't remember the guy's name. He's in Half-Life 2. He's got a goatee and glasses. Yes. His name is like...
Dr. Freeman.
Scott. Alan. And I'm right there with you.
Oh God, I don't know his name. I know what game he's in. Oh God.
Is it Handsome Jack?
No, is his name like Gordon? He's from Half-Life.
Yep.
No! My hat. Gordon Freeman. Did I get it? Yes! Woo! Oh my God. Here's a bit more. Oh, it's
Iron Man.
I know what it's from, and I don't know this game very well. I'm not gonna get it. There's the Valve logo. Yes. You haven't gotten to the goatee face yet, but I know it's coming.
I know the girl's name is Alex Vance or something, but I know it's not her. Gordon from Half-Life. I don't know his full name. All I know about Half-Life is that there's that symbol, and his name is Gordon, and people want the sequel that hasn't come out yet.
Last chance to guess. Do you know who this is? Kind of looks like,
It looks like an accountant. I've never seen this man before in my life. Maybe at the bank. Definitely not in a video game.
He's Half-Life 2, but I do not know his name.
I've totally seen Half-Life. I just don't know his name. So, yeah, I definitely am not familiar. I know everyone's yelling at me right now. I'm sorry. I played Portal, though. Does that count?
This is Gordon Freeman from Half-Life.
Gordon!
Dang it! How did Valve make the nerdiest guy ever be so cool? I don't get it. Put armor on. Here's your last character.
I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna know this.
Yeah, it's on its own isn't gonna do this for me.
It's a belt.
McCree from Overwatch.
No, it's too real.
It's a belt. It looks like, like a belt or maybe like a cuff. I want to say like Ratchet and Clank, but...
Lara Croft? Oh, baby! Lara Croft. No way! Are you kidding me? No way! I was gonna say that!
Give us some more, please.
Yeah. Gun. McCree?
It looks like it could be the tip of some sort of weapon. Not a very sharp weapon, so maybe a gun.
Who has guns? That doesn't narrow it down at all.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Okay.
I could just envision that, iconic stance that she's got where, the two pistols, I'm a sexy video game character.
Lara Croft.
It's Lara, but you get the point. Wow! You just tied it up!
I know!
Oh my God, that was amazing!
Oh, is it Laura Croft? Is that it? Yeah!
Lara Croft.
Yeah, I can see it now.
My brothers, when I was younger, that was one of the games they used to play. Thanks for bringing back childhood memories, guys.
Alyssa, you won!
Yay! Good job. Hey, this was easier than the celebrities. By far. Yay!
No!
I'm better at video games.
Another staff react I can't win.
Woo! Finally I won one. If you picked certain people in the office, I would have been like, oh, I beat you at video game stuff. But it's Alex. Alex puts up a fight. It was a pleasure to duel against you. I hope we're never matched again because I like winning. You guys tied.
I'm so happy, actually.
You want to Rochambeau for this?
Hell
Put it
no.
all on the way. Thanks for watching Guess That Video Game Character here on the React channel.
Don't forget to subscribe for new shows every week.
Bye, everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Zach, a producer at the React.
Please don't let me leave.
What's Blockbuster?
Disgusting! Stop that evil thing.
Probably get you some.
tough mercenary.
Assassin! Assassin! Assassin!
Shh.
You have nothing to fear, Effendi. Your identity is safe with me.
Oh, thank heavens for that.
Forgive my brash introduction, but I am an assassin in training myself. I am strong, fast, and quite a hit with the ladies.
That is a start.
How about a race, huh? I will prove to you my skill. Say, to that spot there.
With a race.
Well, I could spare a few moments.
All right, go!
Have I somehow
I told you I was good.
What?
Here we go!
Ah, fuck. That little thing slowed me down so much.
I told you I was good. Have you taken a blow to the head? Here we go!
Are you fucking shitting me?
I told you I was good. Here we go. Did you see that? Nice.
well, quite the athlete, that one.
You are good, old man.
You have some natural talent yourself.
Yarman, who is this?
Ah, Ella, come. Meet my new mentor. I told you I was an assassin, my love. And to think you ever doubted me.
Merhaba, efendim.
We were just taking the air, Ella, and discussing tactics and such, no?
No, we were discussing when your training would begin. Sunrise, every day. Galata Tower. Understood?
Evet. Of course, mentor.
Another one for the mortuary.
No need to be shy. Come forward.
You will die horribly.
If you respect life and liberty, join our cause. Fight to restore peace to these troubled times.
You are an inspiration, Effendi. I will add my voice to this chorus.
I can...
Receiving incoming transmission.
Most surgeries right here, on site.
Well now, what's he doing? The best available. I'll just count again.
I may be expensive, but my goods are worth.
Oh shit.
Receiving incoming transmission.
It was hard at first, but now the
Another trader?
I killed that scrofa when spread my wife. I told her as she hung there, that's no way to treat a lover. I have done nothing! Leave that poor soul in peace, heretic! Please don't! I'm sorry!
What on earth was he doing?
Please! That is hardly a dignified display.
me just.
Anayamo! Why would you?
See, where are you? There you go. Big bombs.
Nice moves. Not compassion.
Well, quite. It's done.
No worries.
Hey, you do not own me.
Where's she?
Dude, watch yourself. What a strange idiot.
$80,000. You become religious.
Oh, that's certainly not
Tatara! Calm down! What are you doing?
Broken his leash.
Surely you have some money you can farm. I'm sure such a sharp fellow has a little coin for me.
wind up here? Stop him!
Good save. What place? By stopping efficiently. My mother. What's got into that one? Haven't I seen you before?
Mia.
Once speechless.
Oh, Signori, so sorry about your brother.
Give them a tip.
Get him!
What are you doing? I have no business here. Live to fight again, I say.
Yeah, Tara. I don't see him. Get away. Double.
I'm not part of this.
I don't want to die.
The dead are violated.
Saint Simeon. He hurt someone.
Yeah.
Traipsing around like that at his age.
Fortune smile upon our continued business together. I guess the way to God.
No moldy leather or rusty mail. Mine. Tell your friends about me.
Is there a race or something?
Watch yourself. In this city.
You there. You have the bearing of a man who thinks rather highly of himself. But I find you a rather pathetic specimen. What do you have to say about that, Alchuk?
If I had a message for you, amico, I would give it to your mother.
How dare you! We settle this now.
Stay down, and do not pester anyone again.
Surprise attack!
Are you serious?
You fell for my ruse, old man.
Do not embarrass yourself further.
I am the cudgel of Constantinian.
Have you not had enough?
Never!
We will call it a draw, all right?
As are you. If a little reckless. How would you like to put those feasts to better use with the assassins?
You mean, fight for a cause, and not only for amusement?
I am sure you would still find some joy in it.
Evet, I believe you offend me. All right.
Oh, that's a bomb. I thought that was a Templar. She was killed in this man.
So here's something I've never done before, a reaction to an Anita Sarkeesian video. So there's a new one out called Not Your Exotic Something or Other, in which case I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of missing context and a lot of lack of perspective. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Ubisoft's 2012 game Far Cry 3 cast players as Jason Brody, a young white American man vacationing in Bangkok with his brother and their white friends.
Why do I care what color they are? Why do I care if they're white? Would them being black or Spanish or any other type of descent really matter in the story? Now, I've played Far Cry 3, so spoiler warning, no it wouldn't. But here we go.
But their carefree fun comes to an end when a skydiving trip goes wrong and they all end up being kidnapped by evil pirates who, you guessed it, are not white.
Again, why does that matter? They were kidnapped by evil pirates. If they were all white pirates kidnapping white kids, would that suddenly make a difference to me? Or would the entire, I don't know, being kidnapped by pirates be the threat that's present in the game, you moron? Oh boy, here we go. This is gonna suck, isn't it?
Jason escapes and encounters a group of island natives called the Rakyat, who enlist his help to rid their island of the pirates, ushering Jason into his exotic and exciting new role as a tribal warrior and white savior is Citra.
Wait, what does it matter again that he's white? The point of Far Cry 3 has nothing to do with race. The awkwardness of the situation has everything to do with the concept of culture shock. The idea of being transplanted from your own culture, in Jason Brody's case, the culture of a privileged kid who's Obviously, at least to some degree wealthy, probably has rich parents. It's never really specified, you know, whether it is or not. But you can kind of tell that he's lived in the lap of luxury for most of his life. Then all of a sudden, his brother's dead, and he's trying to fight off these crazed pirates in a situation that he's never had to be in before. That's the point of the story. It takes you out of your own element and into another one, which is the point of escapism. It's actually a very compelling way of telling a narrative. But, of course, let's just focus on skin color, because that's what normal people really care about, right?
A young woman who's viewed among her people as a warrior goddess. Under her guidance, Jason's adventure rapidly becomes an absurd hodgepodge of racist stereotypes about tribal cultures and brown women.
What? Wait a minute. Racist stereotypes? Where? Like, what's the racism here? The whole point of the entire game is that the entire island has gone tribalistic. That everything is screwed up, that everyone's fighting each other. And that some people have gone to the past, part of their own culture, and taken in the old warrior ways to fight back against the pirates. Half of the point of the game is the idea of regressing from somebody who is a part of society to a violent killer. But then again, you didn't play this video game, did you, Anita?
At one point, Citra gives Jason a hallucination-inducing drink, which leads him into battle with an imagined giant. After he defeats the monster, he's rewarded with a topless Citra, telling him that he's now part of the tribe. You are Rakyat. Citra's strange mystical powers return later in the game when she blows a glowing dust into Jason's face, triggering another hallucinatory sequence that culminates in a game-ending choice.
Wait a minute. We're going to stop before she says game-ending choice for one particular reason. She's continually saying that Citra has these powers. And then she mentions the hallucinogenic drugs. Anita, do you not see how that can be a contradictory statement? He's on a fucking acid trip, you dumb bitch! The sequence isn't actually going on. It's all in his head. And she's sexually molesting him while it's going on. Oh my god. She didn't play the game. She did not play this game.
To save Jason's friends and leave the island, or to do Citra's bidding, to savagely kill his friends and stay on the island with her. If players choose to murder Jason's friends and stay with Citra, a scene plays in which the two of them have sex. Then she stabs him while stating that their child will become the new leader of the tribe. I guess those mystical tribal powers of hers just immediately let her know that she's already pregnant. I'll be yours.
The ones that don't exist and that the game basically might as well have hinted that they don't exist? Oh my god. She didn't play the game. She doesn't get it.
On one hand, Citra is yet another example of a female character whose sexuality is presented as a motivator and reward for the presumed straight male player.
Wait, what? How is being sexually molested by a woman while you're on drugs a reward? Only in your twisted mind would you think that men actually fantasize about being raped.
But there's something more insidious happening with Citra.
I think there's something more insidious happening with this video, and I feel like we're going to get to it soon.
Her body paint and magical powers suggest she practices some sort of tribal mysticism, which also roots her in a long-standing tradition of racist stereotypes.
Or she drugs people and rapes them because she's actually the other villain of the game that you don't realize until later on. That she has manipulated you and turned you into a murderer. And almost can drive you to the point, or can drive you to the point, where you kill your friends. All for the sake of getting you to sleep with her to create some sort of weird super warrior that she'll maybe give birth to down the line. But then again, you didn't play the game, Anita, so you don't get what's going on here. And beyond that, how is this a stereotype? Where are the other examples of this sort of thing happening? Because here's one thing that you obviously didn't really realize about all of this. The character that you're denigrating so much isn't actually from the islands originally. She's Voss's sister, the other major villain of the game. She's not from there originally. If anything, what she's doing is cultural appropriation. But you didn't research this because why let facts get in the way of the narrative?
These elements of sexism and racism intersect, turning Citra into a stereotype of an exotic, primitive, mystical, savage, sexualized woman of color.
The only statements I'm seeing here that are sexist or racist is the idea that a woman in fiction cannot be overtly sexual with people or own her own body like that. Sorry, but you didn't even play the fucking game, so how do you even know what the hell's going on?
This linking of sexism and racism is an example of what's called exotification. Exotification occurs when a group is treated as inherently different, alluring, and strange.
Well, wait a minute. So now you're telling me that when somebody leaves their own culture and goes and interacts with another culture, that they shouldn't find it possibly alluring, possibly strange, or anything like that? Gee, it's almost as if when human beings interact with something different, they might be a little mystified by it. How dare human beings have human reactions? We should all just become robots at this point.
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
For instance, when certain white men falsely view Asian women and women from other cultures and sexually fetishize them as a result of these false notions, those women are being exotified, and their race is falsely depicted as the defining aspect of their character and personality.
America, so far away.
Not so far away that I'll forget you.
Or, you know, people could actually find elements of their culture to be a positive. Being enticed by something else is not a negative. Do you even interact with other human beings?
For the purposes of this episode, we're focusing specifically on racist stereotypes of tribal and indigenous cultures. But it's important to note that women of color from any background can be, and often are, stereotyped and exotified.
I love the juxtaposition there of like the John Wayne movie and the idea of him falling for someone who is from a different nation as a negative. How is this not racist? Oh my god, Anita Sarkeesian is against interracial relationships, isn't she? Oh my god, this is too good. This is hilarious. What is the difference at this point between the control left and the alt-right? I genuinely have no idea. Let's continue.
Sometimes black female characters are exotified entirely through clothing that simultaneously sexualizes them while also evoking racist stereotypes.
How dare you possibly dress in a sexy outfit and look good in it? And especially if it's something from your culture's past. How dare you be better looking than me is what that glare is telling me right now.
2009's Resident Evil 5 introduced a new character to the series, Sheva Alomar.
And she's fucking awesome. Let's continue.
A Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance agent who joins Chris Redfield as he confronts an outbreak of infected in a fictional region of Africa. The first time you play through the game, Sheva looks like this. However, once the story has been completed, if players also collect all 30 BSAA tokens scattered throughout the levels, they unlock a new outfit for Sheva called the Tribal Costume.
Which is completely and totally optional.
Equipping this outfit takes Sheva, who up until this point has been wearing somewhat practical attire for the work she's doing, and shoves her into a leopard print bikini top and a few tatters of fabric around her waist, while also applying paint markings to decorate her face and body.
Yes, like an ancient tribal warrior. In fact, let's have a look at that outfit right now. Yes, it's sexy and so on and so forth, but she also looks like a warrior, an ancient warrior. So here's my question. Why is a woman looking attractive and strong a negative thing? Now, if she was walking around in a thong and pasties, I would kind of really understand that. But I'm going to be completely frank. I think that her clubbing outfit is a lot more offensive than this thing is. Now, that's my personal opinion. But then again, I'd also like to think that women looking strong and attractive is a positive thing. Saint Anita doesn't seem to think so.
In Hyrule Warriors, the villain Sia is one half of the spirit of the original sorceress, a noble being who watched over the balance of the Triforce. When the evil Ganondorf drives the light from the sorceress's soul, she splits into two, with her virtuous half becoming Lana, who, like the similarly righteous Link and Zelda, is fair-skinned. Meanwhile, her evil half becomes the darker-skinned Sia, who casts dark magic, wears an extremely sexualized outfit, and whose body is adorned with markings reminiscent of tribal body paint.
Yes, oftentimes, whenever a person is split into halves in fiction, oftentimes the two sides are supposed to contradict one another. One is supposed to look one way to personify them as the good one. The other one is supposed to be personified as the evil one. So one dresses more conservative, one dresses considerably less so. So what? I fail to see how this is inherently sexist, or racist, or whatever. One's the good one, one's the bad one. One's good Ash, one's bad Ash. Just because she's a different skin color doesn't mean that the game is trying to say that all people that are of a different skin color are the evil ones. Give me a break. Or, then again, are we going to say that... I mean, it's a common thread in Zelda games that the more evil characters have a tendency to be darker skinned. So, are we going to say now that all of Japan hates black people? Oh, wait. Anita Sarkeesian probably would say that. Moving on.
These differences between Lana and Cia, two halves of the same being, directly link the color of their skin to their goodness and virtue. Falsely suggesting that a lighter skin tone reflects a purer, more noble spirit. In reality, lighter-skinned women of color are often depicted as more desirable and more virtuous because they come closer to meeting the culturally dominant white beauty standards.
Citation. Citation. Need citation. No citation given. Figures.
This insidious notion that a darker skin tone reflects a less moral or virtuous soul is hardly new to the Zelda franchise, in which the heroic and noble characters like Link and Zelda are fair-skinned, while the recurring villain Ganondorf is associated with the darker-skinned Gerudo people.
So what? By default, black people can't be bad guys? Ever? You're going to accuse the Japanese of saying white is right? Okay, if that's the hill you want to die on.
In Diablo 3, there are 6, soon to be 7 classes to choose from, but only one of them is represented by black characters, the Witch Doctor, employing just about every visual stereotype about tribal warriors in the book. Elaborate piercings, skull masks and body paint, and carrying voodoo dolls and shrunken heads as items of power.
And? So what? What do you think a witch doctor is supposed to look like? Herbert West? Everyone who has character traits in Diablo 3 is exaggerated. Every single one of them. The Barbarian also looks like something ripped straight out of Conan the Barbarian. The Demon Hunter looks like something that could be in middle-aged underworld food. The Crusader looks like a giant crusader. So on and so forth. This isn't something that's uncommon in Diablo games. You're saying that simply because it draws upon the ideas of how one would perceive a witch doctor to look in the past, that it's racist because of its existence, failing to realize that it's actually pulling off of past cultures. So, again, you're saying that pulling off of past cultures is inherently racist because... and then we don't get there.
The Witch Doctor is a caricature of tribal identity rooted in centuries-old racist imagery that has no place being perpetuated in the 21st century.
Current year! Oh, she did current year, that's great. Now we should all vote for Justin Trudeau. Fuck off. Again, it's racist because it exists. It's not racist for any other reason. You're completely and totally unable to prove that there was any sort of malicious intent on Blizzard's behalf. You're just simply saying it's racist because it pulls on imagery from the past. That's not racism. At all. Let's continue.
And this is nothing new. Harmful, ignorant, racist stereotypes have been used in the design of supporting characters and enemies in games for decades, and often the result is female characters who are both sexualized and exotified.
How do you think to kill me?
So we're once again taking context out, right? So a Native American character that's killing people in the Wild West, he's not allowed to be the bad guy even though he's doing evil things? Characters from Africa aren't supposed to look African? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? No, you're not. Here we go. Let's keep going.
It's no secret that fighting games often feature sexualized female characters, and often feature characters whose design is rooted in ethnic stereotypes. Sometimes these two elements combine in sexualized, exotified female characters. In Street Fighter IV, Elena wears, well, she wears almost nothing. But the bands that she wears on her arms, legs, and neck vaguely suggest African tribal culture, and she possesses that stereotypical character trait of a mystical connection to the earth.
I'll show you my friends. You ready?
She's also probably one of the most well-loved characters in Street Fighter III Third Strike. And it's not implied that she's from Africa. It states in the character select screen that she's from Africa. But you've never played Third Strike, so you wouldn't know that. You just looked up scantily clad Street Fighter women in Google while you were writing the script, or somebody else was writing it for you, and just found a picture of her and then threw it out there. Never mind that Elena is actually a warrior who just happens to be very well-spirited. Never mind that Street Fighter has plenty of mysticism from other characters as well. You're just throwing it out there because reasons, pulling the context out. Because that's what you always do, isn't it? An elimination of context is an elimination of meaning. An elimination of context is an elimination of meaning. Ignorance of context is a blatant lie.
All these stereotypes are anything but harmless. Here in the United States, racist images and stereotypes of black women have been doing tremendous harm for centuries. In fact, false ideas about black women as inherently hypersexual beings were perpetuated in Southern slaveholding society. This was a time when oppressive Victorian ideas still held sway, creating a false sense of womanhood as inherently domestic, submissive, chaste, innocent, and modest. But the reality of black women's lives as slaves was irreconcilable with these notions. Not only were female slaves, of course, denied any and all basic rights as people, they were also often forced to be naked when on display at auctions, were regularly whipped in partial or total nudity as punishment, and were frequently sexually assaulted and raped by their owners.
Yes, slavery was bad. Nobody's disputing that. What was the point of that entire exchange? Moving on.
In her essential book, Sister Citizen, Melissa Harris Perry explores how myths about black women's sexuality were deliberately perpetuated by white people as a way of rationalizing their cruel and dehumanizing treatment of female slaves.
Again, slavery was bad. Nobody disagrees with this. What's the fucking point? And also, why are you quoting Melissa Harris Perry of all people? She's probably one of the biggest hacks to ever enter journalism and the television scene. This is a woman who wore tampons on her fucking ears, for God's sake. Nobody takes anything she says seriously. Do you really think quoting her in any scenario is going to boost your argument? Give me a break.
The myth of black women as lascivious, seductive, and insatiable was a way of reconciling the forced public exposure and commoditization of black women's bodies with the Victorian ideals of women's modesty and fragility. The idea that black women were hypersexual beings created space for white moral superiority by justifying the brutality of Southern white men.
No one is debating that slavery was bad. Did you forget the part where we fought a war over it?
These false, harmful stereotypes and their tragic impact have remained alive through the centuries and into the present day. Throughout most of American history, up to and including much of the 20th century, the sexual assault and rape of black women by white men was almost never treated as a crime.
And that has changed. Again, the South sucked for a very long time. Nobody's disagreeing with that. Again, are we going to get to the point of this spiel? Nobody is saying opposite of this. We fought a war over this. Jim Crow was thrown out. Those perceptions have largely changed. What is the point of this entire spiel? Again, do you not talk to people?
In her book, Dark Continent of Our Bodies, historian Frances E. White says, virtually no legal protection was provided for women who were portrayed as loose and licentious. By definition, found it nearly impossible to convince a legal establishment that men of any race should be prosecuted for sexually assaulting them. The rape of black women was simply no crime at all. Obviously, the problem here is not with the idea of representing women who come from tribal cultures. Our media absolutely should reflect the cultural diversity of the world we live in.
But they should follow exactly how you see it going. No references to the past, ever. No ideas from the past. No possible even paying homage to the past. Or using it as an ability, or using it as a form of culture shock, like Far Cry 3 did. Oh, no, 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 no. How dare you do such things?
But that's not what characters like these do, at all.
Actually, yes, they do. Citra, again, as I said earlier, is a villain who does villainous things and uses hallucinogens to get someone in a position to rape them. Sheva Alomar dons one optional costume, again, I emphasize the word optional, that really still portrays her as a strong woman. It's just a bit more sexualized, and you can't deal with the idea of a good-looking black woman looking good. How dare she show her legs? You're one swinging set of nuts in the 1940s away from saying that she should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, for God's sake.
These are not respectful, well-researched representations of actual cultures.
Based on what? How are they not respectful? You have failed to point out any actual disrespect here. You have said their mere existence is sexist, racist, bigoted, homophobic, whatever you want to throw in there, whatever BS accusation you want to throw in. Ultimately, that means nothing, says nothing, and leads nothing to any sort of an actual conversation here. You have to say something. You have to mention something about exactly why I should perceive this as sexist. This entire divisive argument that you've put forward, Anita, is working on the base assumption, and your old boy Jonathan McIntosh loves to use those, works on the base assumption that I should immediately be thinking as a feminist. I don't. I'm not a feminist. And you're not exactly putting forward an argument to make me think that you're correct in any way, shape, or form, because you are completely and totally unable to give me any sort of reasoning that I should think that these women, in the context that they are in, and their portrayal is any way sexist or racist. There is no evidence here. There is no good argument as to why I should perceive things that way. It's just one line of nonsense after another. Your whole argument has been, this is racist because it exists and I say it is. That's not an argument. That's a temper tantrum.
Rather, they represent a form of cultural appropriation, when a dominant culture exploits and often profits from the history, culture, or traditions of a marginalized group.
Oh boy, so you're going to use team naming. Yeah, because, you know, that whole thing isn't done as, you know, tribute to those old warrior cultures at all. Oh wait, yes it is. Because we oftentimes do that. And it's not just with the Indians. You look at team names from all over, the Cowboys, the Spartans, so on and so forth. We see competition as a form of more civilized warfare. So we pull on old cultures, old warrior cultures, for inspiration. Because there are things that we can take from those days to inspire us to be strong, to take example from them. That's not cultural appropriation. But beyond that, you know, even if it is cultural appropriation, I fail to see how it's a negative. I fail to see how giving tribute to those societies is a negative. But you do because reasons. You don't really argue your point here. You just state it as if it's a fact when it's not. Just because if somebody looks into, if Alex Jones says that fluoride is turning the frogs gay with a straight face doesn't mean I should take him serious, and you saying that a team being called the Indians or Redskins is racist with a straight face doesn't mean I should believe it either. Sorry, doesn't work that way.
Like a white person putting on a sombrero and a fake mustache, grabbing a bottle of tequila and saying they're going as a Mexican for Halloween.
Hey, fuck you, that's a great costume. I've done it before. I mean, how else are you supposed to celebrate Cinco de Mayo? How do you celebrate it? Aside from whining about cultural appropriation.
These offensive and embarrassing depictions reduce rich cultures down to a few stereotypical signifiers.
Oh, shit! Last time I dressed in a sombrero and did a Cinco de Mayo celebration someplace, I got high fives from Mexican people. And we bought each other beers. So let's not assume that everybody is going to get offended just because you are. Mexican people don't need you to be offended for them. They don't need your resting bitch face to stare at people and shame them. When, in fact, most Mexican folks that I've met have been incredibly welcoming with their culture. But then again, I talk to real people. You don't talk to real people. You live in San Francisco.
Mystical powers, skimpy, tattered clothing, body paint, and racialized hypersexualization are used as shorthand for exotic.
I love how bikini is shorthand for hypersexualized. Of those three characters, only one of them is actually overtly sexual. Just because someone's in a bikini doesn't mean they want sex. Are we going through that? I mean, isn't that the feminist argument against date rape? Is just because she's wearing something skimpy doesn't mean that she wants it? But now you're saying that she does. That's rich.
As a result, these signifiers reinforce extremely false and damaging stereotypes about the people and cultures that they're appropriating.
What sane person, and you love to say current year, what sane person in the here and now actually thinks that a character like Elena or Sheva Alomar is a slut? And didn't you even admit, or show footage early on, that Citra wanted to kill Jason Brody when she first met him? Are we ignoring the context again, Anita? I mean, come on. This is a little bit redundant. There's evidence that contradicts your argument in this very video that you put out there. But you're not a very smart person, so I guess that just is par for the course.
These false, harmful myths and stereotypes continue to contribute to the marginalization and oppression of women of color in America today.
What? What the fuck are you even talking about? We live right now in one of the safest times to be an American citizen. To be a citizen anywhere. Here's my question. If you really care that much about people of different skin colors, where were you when Boko Haram was kidnapping little girls? Were you in support of maybe troops moving in to help out or anything like that? Or did you just throw up a hashtag and forget about it? You have no idea what oppression is. You've never faced oppression. You faced mean tweets. And then when you tried to get the FBI involved, they dismissed your claims because they made no sense. Because they realized that all you wanted to do was play victim. Slavery is over. Institutional racism does not exist. You have failed to point out a modern-day institution that oppresses people of color. Aside from the Democratic Party, that is.
For instance, in her book, The Politics of Disgust, feminist theorist Ange Marie Hancock discusses how racial stereotypes about black women contribute to a political system in which the marginalized continue to be underserved, oppressed, and unheard.
The only reason that they are, anyway, unheard is because you try to speak for them. Last time I checked, you weren't a black woman.
We very rarely see portrayals of women of color in games that incorporate the cultural history of those characters in honest, respectful ways.
Now, wait a minute. You earlier said that Sheva Alomar was actually portrayed respectfully up until you get a certain costume. It contradicts your argument. You're also showing Alex Vance, a half-black, half-Asian woman, but you're failing to really show any examples, or multiple examples, that would fit the very divisive statement that the gaming industry has been unable to produce characters that are women of color that are anything but negative stereotypes. You've pointed out 3 women in this, all 3 of which are not what you say they are when you add context to the mix.
In many ways, Alex Vance from Half-Life 2 and its follow-up episodes is a great character, and it's good to see a non-sexualized woman of color in such a prominent role. But the game isn't concerned with her cultural background. Nilin, the biracial protagonist of Remember Me, is a sexualized female protagonist, but the sexualization doesn't employ racist tropes. Like Alex, her cultural background is treated as irrelevant.
And is that a positive or a negative? Your tone doesn't really suggest either one. And what's wrong with being sexual? That's another thing you haven't been able to establish in this video. We're just supposed to assume that sex is bad. What is this? Orwell? You are trying to abolish the orgasm, lady, and you don't even realize it.
Unfortunately, there aren't many positive examples of women of color in games whose cultural history isn't erased, but also isn't presented as the stuff of racist stereotypes. And that's a shame, because characters whose cultural background is incorporated honestly and respectfully can work to challenge the deeply racist status quo.
The deeply racist status quo based on what? What is racist about modern society? You have failed to give any examples of that either. You're stating these as if they are just facts that we're supposed to accept. So basically what you're doing with your resting bitch face is you're staring into the camera and you're calling me a racist based on nothing. You're saying, viewer, you are a racist in my head. And you fail to see how your language is divisive? You say everyone's a sexist, racist, bigot, homophobe, especially if they don't vote the way that you do. How are we supposed to take you seriously? You hate everyone, and the way you form your arguments and the way that you talk about the world around you makes me think that you, again, don't interact with normal human beings at all.
We're at least seeing some improvement where black male protagonists are concerned. Though they're far from perfect in terms of representation, 2016's Watch Dogs 2 and Mafia 3 center black male characters and acknowledge black identity and structural racism as aspects of their characters' lives. Mafia 3 does feature a supporting character named Cassandra, a woman of Haitian heritage whose background is very important to her character. Cassandra fights the entrenched Italian mafia and their racist brutality against the poor black citizens of the game's fictional southern city.
Which also, we need to mention, is based in the 1960s.
The game 1979 Revolution doesn't center a woman as its protagonist, but in telling the story of the Iranian Revolution, it illustrates how games can introduce players to new cultural perspectives in ways that are respectful and compelling, and that work to counteract stereotypes rather than to reinforce them.
We are a nation of equality greater than Western capitalism. I find that statement rather funny. Yeah, Iran's better than Western capitalism, which is why they want to kill all the Jews.
One game with a female protagonist that does an excellent job of incorporating a character's cultural history and traditions is Never Alone, which stars a young girl named Nunya, a member of the Inupiat people of Alaska. Folklore and traditions of the Inupiat are incorporated throughout the game in a respectful way that enriches the player's understanding of these people and their experiences.
But if she wore a bikini, that would negate all of it.
This kind of respectful treatment of cultural history and traditions should be the norm, but instead, games more often just plunder marginalized cultures with no sense of respect and no concern whatsoever about accurately reflecting the people and traditions they're appropriating from.
That's a point that you actually failed to prove in this entire video. All you've done is eliminate context and then insert your own into it, your own opinions, which are incredibly misinformed.
To put it simply, it's not okay for games to reduce these cultures to stereotypical costumes and personality traits in an effort to add a bit of exotic flair to their worlds.
I'm gonna stop you there, resting bitch face. But actually, no. Here's what the conclusion actually is. The conclusion is that no, game developers are not racists. At all. You are not racist for introducing exotic elements. You are not racist for calling upon older cultures. You are not racist for having sexy women in your video games. None of this is racist at all. Racism, by its definition, implies malice towards a specific group of people or the thought that you are inherently superior to them based on your skin color, neither of which is going on. Anita Sarkeesian does not understand the definition of racism. She never has, and she never will. If someone like Anita Sarkeesian ever tells you as a creator that you are a racist just because she doesn't like the work you're doing, you should completely and totally ignore every single word that she has said because she is a misinformed moron. My name is Michael Curtis. Thanks for watching.
What's he doing?
I am also made slave to the terror their peasants breathe.
Not one way
There is a million in number. Let us defeat the devil.
Damn it! Not another trouble to short on the brains end of the thing, yeah?
Trust in the care I can provide, good people.
I have many useful accessories too. Things you may not know you need.
All right then.
If it wasn't for them, life would be so boring. I'm dying to try this blade I got from that Italian by the town. It has little barbs that rip when they come back out.
New market and center for trade promotion and arbitration.
So much money, I cannot believe it.
Let me see.
Later!
The devil's work. What is happening? Is he in? Leave him. He cannot stay. What the hell is going on here? Is it the Roman curse? God help us. This is a bad idea.
What is wrong with you? Someone told that is making this at first here.
Please, try to avoid pointy objects in future.
Haha, the old tricks are always the best. Do be careful, Ezio. I hear that chest is cursed.
Where to, Belladonna?
This way. And stay alert. Have you heard the term gypsy?
Quite often, see.
Did you know that this word was born from the misapprehension that my people are from Egypt?
You find it offensive?
I find it funny. My people are from Eastern Persia and beyond. Yet, somehow we have become citizens of a land we have never seen.
People are quick to judge and slow to correct themselves.
People are stupid.
Sometimes.
Ezio, the simplest answer is always the best.
You should count it. Make sure everything is there.
Oh, you have our thanks, Ezio. And you can count on us from here on out. For anything. At any time.
Good to know. If I need, say, to borrow some money, I will ask you.
Shall we just pretend that we're...
Despite current political differences, I have some light horsemasters gathering forces. We're fighting at each other. Price is so low, you won't believe your eyes. Just you will be well satisfied. I know it. Come forward. Take your health seriously. Most entertaining.
Another mercenary. Oddly dressed.
Time to go visit my uncle.
Glory your bay! I've got to get out of here! Finally, one confront me. God help me!
Nothing to do with it!
I can also land gold! I've got to get out!
Have you no shame? That's the key!
Please don't! I'm sorry!
Or something?
I still look.
Karım bunları beğenir abi.
troubles you this day, Arkadash? You should feel better. But take care.
Really? Next you will expect praise for your barbarity. I will have the guns on you, Ivan!
I don't know what's going on.
I give a great selection of clothes. Only...
I'm only visiting. I don't know what's going on.
We don't want to die.
Roll your bed.
Don't neglect your health. After your soul.
Stay out of my way.
I'm only visiting. I don't know what's going on.
With me.
I have nothing to do with it. We don't want to die. Help! I have nothing to do with it.
Roll your bed. I got it. Please, Effendi. I am a weak diplomat.
Hey,
Careful there. I shake in anger, knowing they are free.
You there, hello, can you help me?
What is troubling you, amigo?
There is a mad woman in this district putting curses on people with little silver coins.
Curses?
Well, not curses exactly, but old Byzantine coins. She is sneaking them into our pockets while our heads are turned. And I do not find it funny.
Keep your leggings on. I will have a look.
Thief! You won't get away. Guard! Herman, stop!
Quite a trick you have there. Sleeping worthless coins into men's pockets. Have you ever been caught?
Not once. Although I have, on occasion, taken money as well. But only to feed myself.
Why do you not put that trick to better use? Fight with the assassins. Work for a just cause.
Well, it would be nice to be part of something larger than myself. Evet. I will fight with you.
Okay.